Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure, here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning to all students. Hello students, I, Anuradha Sharma, teaching at Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College, welcome you all in today's online learning session. Today we are going to study Civics, Chapter 1, Introduction to the Parliamentary System. Now, before starting the chapter, can anyone tell me what is civics and why do we study this subject? Civics is the study of citizenship and government. We study this subject to understand how the government of our country works. We also understand what are our rights and responsibilities as a citizen. So now let's begin today's chapter, Introduction to the Parliamentary System of Government. Before starting the today's session, let me ask you few questions. Have you ever thought in India we have Prime Minister, but why is there no Prime Minister in United States of America? Is there a parliamentary or a presidential system of government in India? Now you must be thinking, what is the difference between a parliamentary and a presidential system of government? Now these questions would lead us to conclude that every country has different form of government. Before we understand different types of government systems, let us know about the main branches of government first. There are three main branches of government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. The legislature is known as parliament, and you know that there are two houses of parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Next, President, Vice President, and Prime Minister make executive branch. Supreme Court, High Court, District Courts make or come under judiciary. Next, we will see the function of these three branches of government. The legislature makes laws, the executive branch implement those laws, and judiciary provides justice. It means it protects the rights of the people and tries to resolve conflicts in accordance with the law. We will study all these functions in detail in our upcoming chapters. Okay, students? The functions of these organs or these three branches of government, their jurisdiction, limitations on their power, and interrelationship between these organs is how they coordinate with each other. Everything is decided by the constitution. You have already studied about constitution in detail in your previous class. Can you tell me what exactly is this? Yes, it is a book in which all the provisions regarding the administration of a country are mentioned. So, Constitution decides how these branches or organs of the government will function, what is their jurisdiction. Now, do you know what is the jurisdiction? It is the extent, a limitation of the power to make legal decisions and judgment. Means what comes under the legislature, what will be the jurisdiction of the extent of the executive, and what will be the jurisdiction of the judiciary department, to what extent they can make laws. Everything is decided by the constitution. Now we will study the types of government system. There are different types of government systems in the world, but we will study two main systems. The first one is parliamentary system, and the second one, presidential system of government. In a parliamentary system, the legislature or the parliament holds the supreme power. In a presidential system, the president is directly voted by the people and is answerable to those people or voters rather than the legislature. Now we will study about them in detail. Let's begin with parliamentary system of government. The parliamentary system of government developed primarily in England. The English constitution is an unwritten constitution where governance, or we can say administration, of the country is carried out in accordance with traditions, customs, and conventions. But our constitution is written and the government works according to it. Thus, it is said that parliamentary system of government is the contribution of England. Though India had adopted this system from England and they have some similarities also, yet both the systems differ in such certain aspects because both the countries, their geographical conditions, their population, everything is different. Let us see the characteristics of parliamentary system of India. The legislature of the central government is known as parliament. You know that the government that is in Delhi, the prime minister, president, and everything, they are called central government or union government. And chief minister, governor who are working in different states, they are known as state governments. The Indian parliament is composed of president, Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha. Members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people and their number is fixed. There are 545 members in Lok Sabha. Elections to the Lok Sabha are held at regular intervals. And remember that all the political parties contest these elections. The party which gets the highest votes, or we can say the majority votes, forms the government. But sometimes the situation is different and no party gets a clear majority. Then what happened? Few parties come together and form a government which is known as coalition government. The leader of the majority party becomes the prime minister. He or she, as you know that Indira Gandhi was also our prime minister, so we can say he or she, whoever wins, selects candidates among his or her colleagues to form the council of ministers. The council of ministers has to perform dual functions of implementing the laws and to fulfill responsibilities to the legislature. Responsible system of government. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers are responsible to the legislature, or we can say to the Parliament, for all their actions and policies, because whatever policy they make, whatever action they are going to take, they have to keep in mind the constitutional provisions. Collective responsibility. Decision taken by any ministry or any department is considered as decision of the entire council of ministers. There are many departments in council of ministers, such as few examples are Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Finance Department, Chemical and Fertilizer Department, Transport Department, and many more. So next is no confidence motion. As the name itself says, no confidence. The executive is dependent upon the confidence of the legislature in them. It means that If the if the Council of Ministers remains in power till there is support and confidence of the legislature. If the legislature feels that the executive is not working according to its wishes, it removes the executive from power by passing a no confidence motion against the executive. So we can say that no confidence motion is an effective tool to keep a check over the executive. Next is supremacy of parliament. In the parliamentary form of government, the legislature is supreme. The parliament decides upon issues of public welfare. Since it is the house of representatives of people, means in both the houses, the people who are working, who are elected by the people, they are the representatives of the people and they express sovereign authority of people. That is why it is called the supreme body. Parliament is called the supreme body. Next, we will learn why did India adopt a parliamentary system of government. The development of parliamentary system started during the British rule in India. The British rulers governed India in accordance with this system. You know that they ruled over us for more than 150 years. So they were following the same parliamentary system. So Indians were familiar with the system of government. The Constituent Assembly, who prepared our constitution, made a few changes in the parliamentary system to suit the Indian situations because both the countries are different. English European countries are different and India is a different country geographically, population wise, economically, everything. Now we will see importance given to discussions and deliberations. When they were making changes, or even today, when any policy is made, any law is implemented, before that, there is lot of discussion and deliberations. Deliberation also means long discussions and debates. We can say that both of these things are very important or integral part of the our parliamentary system. Questions related to public welfare are discussed in the legislature. Members from the opposition party also take part in these discussions, support the government, point out shortcomings in policies and laws. You must have seen your parents watching Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha proceedings when any bill is passed in these houses or any law is implemented or there is any amendment in any article of the constitution. So you must have seen that opposition supports the government if they agree with their policies, and they also point out shortcomings in the policies and law if they disagree. So these things are very important to make proper and effective laws for our country, for our people. Next, we will learn about the features of presidential system of government, the second type of government system. In this system, the president is the executive and is independent of the legislature. The houses of the legislature and the president are directly elected by the people. The president as an executive has lot of powers including power to implement laws, though the legislature and executive are not directly dependent. It means they are independent. Still, there are enough connection between them to work in coordination and they also keep a check on each other. They do their work with their pace, but they also coordinate with each other. They also keep control on each other, directly or indirectly. Okay? But simultaneously do their work. So, this mutual control helps to form a responsible government. This type of government system is adopted in the United States of America. France, Germany, Switzerland have adopted different systems of government other than these two. So, students, today we have learned about the main branches of government, two main types of government systems, parliamentary and presidential, their features, and the reason why India adopted only parliamentary system of government. In the next chapter of Civics, we will study the structure, working, and role of the Indian Parliament in detail. So that's all for today. Thank you. Stay home, stay healthy, and above all, be positive.